So as I go through a nitrogen sweep on this vehicle after doing a 200 psi nitrogen pressure decay test, we have it hooked up already. I forgot to record that, but the software from Field Piece is linked up to the tool. I have the nitrogen sitting here at 200 psi. I don't need it that high. I have the high side off. I have the low side open. I just purged out the high side just by cracking the valve right here, allowing the vapor to escape. Now I'm gonna vacuum again, and I'm only vacuuming from the low side because I feed the dry nitrogen in through the high side. You can see the lag, how this is lower number than this over here, because it's pulling everything through the low side, not the high side. The high side follows. That dry nitrogen pushes along and helps sweep out some of the, there we go. We just went down to 9,000 microns. We'll now be recording it. There it goes. You can see the rapid drop right there. Just shot right on down. There you're at 1,600 microns. And of course, this is an iPhone, so it doesn't like to focus. Well, let's watch that, and we're gonna watch it. It's gonna go down, and then it's gonna slowly start to taper off and not go down so linearly. Man, tongue-tied here. Linear. I can't get that word out. You guys know what I mean. And then it'll start to taper off. Okay, it's starting to slowly, not such a steep angle. The angle of attack is now coming up. Come on, iPhone, focus. So I'm gonna do another sweep right now. So I close off the low side, close off the vacuum. See it immediately go down to below 100 microns. And give a little squirt of nitrogen on the side. That's it. Let's see what that did. Almost came to zero. Another time, boom, there we go. 2 psi, good enough for government. You see I shut it off, shut off the high side, open up the vacuum again, and open up the low side. So it is pushing or pulling, however you want it. It's dropping the pressure on the low side, and the high side follows. The nitrogen is going through the system like a scrub brush and helping to move the moisture off the thing. And you'll see it come down. So it stopped right there. That's where I put the pressure in. It shot up above the range, and there it is. It's coming right back down again, and it's repeating the same thing. Oh, I got to show you true vacuum. That's what I didn't do, because I opened up this a little bit prematurely. The high side was not steadied out to the low side. So let's do that again. Well, we got some bubbles going on in action going on in there. That's from what was that? The oil and dye that I injected up at the orifice, breaking through the expansion valve from all the nitrogen on the high side, bubbling through the small orifice of the expansion valve into the evaporator, and then coming, and we're reading the sensor. That's what's happening right there right now. That's why it doesn't look like this. This one was pretty clear, but now there's a little entrained oil. Now let's check this out. So we're down here at 900 microns, going to 800 microns. We were back there at, well, no, that was after I shut off everything. We were back there at 630. Here we go, we're approaching that again, but watch this. I'm just going to shut off the vacuum only, and it'll give time for the high side to catch up to the low side and give you the true vacuum reading of the entire system. There, it's off. So right now, nitrogen from the high side is coming over to the low side, because the low side was in a deeper vacuum because of the restriction of the vacuum through the orifice of the expansion valve. Now I'm going to open up the high side. Now we're going to balance out. So the high is going to completely balance out right away. Let's see if there was a difference. Did I wait long enough? No, I didn't. So there was still a lot on the high side that did not go through. We are not in a vacuum. We're not in a deep vacuum on the high side. So let's close off the high side again and draw some more out over here. It is trapped over there. It is not coming through on the system rapidly. And did you see it was at like 3,500 microns, but yet it was in the 29 region on the high side. It didn't completely come over. And we could see where I broke it and went up to 29. It went off scale, and it wasn't until I opened up the vacuum again did it come back down again. But you see it's coming down lower, faster. Look how fast and look how low it is now. Before it was stagnating, and see over here at 630, it was starting to level off and it wouldn't go down. But because I swapped nitrogen through it, now we're way down here at, from the 630, we're down to 300 and something. Otherwise, we would be at that 630 for a long, long time. Remember, this was in a body shop. I did the recovery on this one a week ago, and little moisture gets into the system. Okay, so we're down at the 349. It's starting to stagnate. It's getting really, really slow now. So you're getting to your limit of the moisture that's keeping in the system, but we're probably restricted. Let's watch how it happens when I turn off the vacuum supply. Now remember, we are reading through hoses. Refrigerant charging hoses weren't meant for deep vacuum, and they will skew your numbers a little bit. They hold refrigerant oil and moisture on the surface of the hoses of your refrigerant gauges. They will contaminate or skew your numbers. Now you see we're not shooting up to 33,000 or 2,000 anymore. Let's open up the high side and see if we're being restricted by the expansion valve and oil stuck there. This will prove it. 1, 2, 3, go. Let's see what happened this time. A little bit. There we go. We're stuck on that side. It's not going through all the way. So let's just vacuum that side out. Let me get it back down. Let me do both sides. And with different cars, you'll get different results. And we're going down pretty rapidly. Now let's shut it off. Let's see where it goes. Because we know we have both sides open now. Now you see how slow that's coming up? Now look at the steady out part. You see how flat that is right there? Because we don't have nitrogen trapped in the high side, trying to make through that glob of oil that I have at the expansion valve, holding it back. You know, it's just burbling through, and it's literally blocking off almost a 2,000 or 3,000 micron difference between the high side and low side. That's just because of the way I'm doing this, that I explained in the other videos about this engine can't start because there's no transmission fluid. I can't run tests, so I'm going to charge the system up with refrigerant without ever starting it. It will be 100% full, and when they hit the button after they get it running, it'll work. So under this case, I just keep on vacuuming on the low side, pulling out until it achieves a lower number. I got to go over. I got 2 more vehicles here to do. I got to get back on them. I leave this one on the vacuum pump while I go do the recharge on 2 other vehicles. See you guys later.